All right, music fans, welcome. Harmless Dave here, talking real music in real time for just a couple of real people who are left, just like you and just like me. And of course, addressing medical tyranny yet again. So Aaron Lewis is back in the news because some rock publication has to call him out because he beat the thing, not doing it their way. That's what this is all about. They go on and on and on to say, don't do this, don't use this, don't do what Aaron Lewis did, don't do it. Okay, well, Aaron Lewis did it and he succeeded. So are you mad that he succeeded, or are you worried other people might succeed as well? This is a crazy world we're living in, and they throw out a pure 100% lie. And I'm going to put a link in the description of this video from Table 2E. Table 2E comes from the actual guidelines, treatment guidelines from the NIH. Okay, so the NIH treatment guidelines, Table 2E. So I wish, here's just like all those people that wish that Eric Clapton would just shut up and retire. Oh, I wish he would just have a dignified retirement. See, Aaron Lewis is a little bit too young to retire, although he could. And some people might make a whole bunch of money at the end of all this when it's proven that all of this stuff was, shall we say, medical malpractice. All of it, or 80 to 90% of it. All right, so the headline reads from another one of these just amazing websites that can't talk about Aaron Lewis and his appearance performing live for his fans in West Virginia. By the way, you don't want to mess with West Virginians, okay? You just don't. Because go watch the movie. Again, it's not a movie. It's a documentary called Dope Sick. I keep trying to sell it here. I'm sure Hulu is not going to give me any royalties. And I'm surprised they're even able to air this. But Dope Sick talks about the whole OxyContin problem. And there are so many parallels between that and what we're experiencing now. Safe and effective, safe and effective, safe and effective, over and over again. And there are lawyers involved. And then there's the FDA, and then there's a cover-up, and then there's a payoff. And just go watch the documentary series. But let's get to the topic here. So Aaron Lewis says he beat the thing after taking the horse paste, an unproven treatment for the floating particle thing. Oh my. So just that headline alone, it's unproven, right? It's unproven for treatment, yet but it's listed on Table 2E. And again, I can't wait to post the link for Table 2E here from the NIH. And who's in charge of the NIH? I don't know. Isn't it the little emperor guy who basically worked there for 50 years? Yeah, it's on their website. It's on their website. So everybody here at this particular page that is posting this, and this is the page that likes to blabber. That's all they do. They blabber about nothing. And they can't focus on the music of Aaron Lewis, who is frontman for the band Stained. And I'm kind of on Stained, but I like Aaron Lewis and his country stuff. It's really good. So he opened up, Aaron Lewis did, about his diagnosis, saying that he beat the thing by taking the horse paste. And that has no evidence of being safe or effective. Okay, so let me again put this sentence as Exhibit A on pure falsehood. At very least, it's a ginormous misrepresentation. Sorry, I'm a little tongue-tied here because I'm looking at all these medical terms, and I'm trying to use euphemisms here. So Aaron Lewis said that he used Z-Pak, and then they have to describe what the Z-Pak is. It's an antibiotic used to treat bacterial infections by inhibiting the growth of bacteria in the body. So what they're trying to do there is say, oh, well, viruses are different from bacteria. That's what they're trying to do there. They're trying to go, okay, so this is stupid because bacteria, but they didn't say that. They're just implying And that's why they're describing what Z-Pak is, and they're not 100% on what he used here. They don't know specifically all of the treatments that he used. But anyway, Lewis touched upon his battle publicly during his solo performance last night at the Hollywood Casino in Charlestown, West Virginia. Again, don't mess with West Virginia. He addressed the sold-out 1,200 person capacity venue. Now, they're going to Appalachia to gauge the people there, and they're just basically trying to make everybody look like, you're just a redneck and you just don't know what you're talking about, and this is crazy. So he just had the thing. He continued. It was in me for about a week. So it was in his body. I like that he used body because it's supposed to be kind of like your body and your choice, what you're going to do. There shouldn't be any sort of mandatory thing that you have to do. By the way, what was it? Fifth Circuit Court said the mandate is unconstitutional and you can't do it. It'll go to the Supreme Court. And these companies and these medical facilities that are all tied to Medicare and Medicaid, they are beholden to the state for this money to get paid for the stuff that they do. So if they don't do what the corpse in chief says to do, then all their money goes away. But I would say that their patients are going to go away because their staff is going to go away. So either way, they're going to be in a lot of hot water trying to navigate this stuff. So I've gone off on a few tangents already. He says, at the risk of being called a conspiracy theorist, this is Aaron Lewis, I took the horse paste and a Z-Pak, two things readily available. And if they weren't locking up all the horse paste, you could get it from any doctor. And he goes on, it won awards for its applications on humans long before it ever went to a veterinarian application. It's not just horse paste. He goes on. So yeah, it's almost like he's apologizing for being right and for doing something. He did a few other things. He did infrared sauna. He did a hyperbaric oxygen chamber. So he went like, and you know why people are going crazy trying to beat this, and because it's in the media every day, and our perception of what this is has changed dramatically. We think it's almost like this little brush fire, and we've got to drown it in the Pacific Ocean, and it's okay. I mean, throw everything you've got at it. Joe Rogan did that. Oh no, other people are doing it. India, the entire country of India. Anyway, in a week, he said it was gone. It worked a hell of a lot better than the other thing seems to be. But that makes sense because it's readily available and it's cheap and it doesn't make anybody any money. Boom. Okay, so then they do the cut and paste editing because somebody is on staff there who says, whoa, we can't just let him say this stuff. He goes on, or they go on to say, things have been proven to be safe and effective. All of the things, whether it's Moderna, whether it's Pfizer, whether it's Johnson & Johnson and that wonderful AstraZeneca, they're all effective in fighting the thing that's killed more than 770,000 Americans. Now, I take umbrage with that number because there should be an asterisk there if they're going to be honest, because I believe it was one of the agencies that came along and said, a lot of those people had secondary issues that may have been way more responsible than the thing that they got. The thing may have added some complications to it, but many of those people were suffering anyway. And I'm not saying they all would have no longer been breathing, but there is a very good possibility that number, that pure number, based on the fact they're saying that the thing did all the damage to these people and not diabetes or heart disease or other stuff. But they're making that connection like they do in every article. So the only way you can beat this, again, according to these people, is to do the thing. And if you don't do the thing, well, then, you're on your own and you're probably not going to make it. Well, according to Joe Rogan, and now we've got Aaron Lewis, and there'll be more people that speak out, except, it's few and far between because people don't want to lose audience. They want to maintain friendships. Look at Eric Clapton. I bring him into a lot of videos because he went and did the thing and he doesn't have friends, right? He's lost all his friends and he did the thing. All right. Here's a guy who didn't do the thing. And I think all of these musicians like Travis Tritt, Eric Clapton, Aaron Lewis, they need to form some kind of a partnership, right? Americans would unite to see all of this music in one place with artists that don't want to make you wear a medical device or have a QR code or do any of these crazy things that they're asking you to do. This article again goes on to talk about worms. It works on worms, and it's popular with people who don't want to do the thing. It's not, and they say who oppose things in general. That's not the issue mostly. The issue is that people oppose this particular thing. That's why they don't want to do this. And nobody has the intellectual fortitude to ask the question. So they go on and say, yeah, it's good for parasites and worms. It's been approved for human use to treat infections such as head lice. So they're starting to move in the direction where, oh, maybe it's not just for animals, but they're saying you can use it for skin conditions and head lice. Here we go. More just inaccurate stuff here on the copy and paste from this wonderful, and this is a rock website, rock and roll, modern rock, classic rock, hard rock. The FDA has not authorized or approved the horse paste in preventing or treating this particular floating particle in humans and has warned against taking the veterinary form of the thing. Here's why that people are doing that. Because as mentioned by Aaron Lewis, it's hard to get. It's hard to go to the pharmacy and find it. Your best bet is like the mom and pop, stay away from corporations like CVS and Walgreens. And guess what? You might actually be able to find it. And they go on again, which is that's partly a lie, what they said there, because I believe you can dose the veterinarian form of it if you, talk to somebody who knows how much you should have. But I would strive to go for the human variety. The FDA said clinical trials are on. Okay, I have to examine this sentence and bear with me because I know this is a long video. The FDA said clinical trials are ongoing. They're ongoing, but currently available data does not show that the horse paste is safe or effective against the thing. Okay, so the clinical trials are ongoing. So what's taking so long with these clinical trials? We're into what, year 2 now? We're getting close to finishing 2 years of the thing, and the news media scaring you with fear every day. And by the fear will drop your immunity, okay? And most studies show that when people are fearful, they're more likely to get sick. It's a true statement, okay? So the FDA said that the clinical trials are ongoing. The statement should read that because clinical trials are still ongoing, the effectiveness of the thing is still in question. But that's not even the truth. But if they were going to be somewhat balanced with this statement, they would say that, oh, well, we don't know yet. It's still in clinical trial. But available data. So what's the available data? Table 2E. Table 2E comes from the actual treatment guidelines from the NIH.gov website. And I'm going to put this into the description box of this video. This will blow your mind, all right? Because they say, no, this isn't really authorized. You know what is on this list as number one? Remdesivir. And I don't want to talk about remdesivir. I don't want to talk about who gets money for remdesivir sales. But after that particular substance is mentioned, then the horse paste is on the list at number two. And this is from the, okay, so full stop. This is on the NIH.gov website that the horse paste is at number two for emergency use, because that's what this all is. Nobody, by the way, when they write articles, understands that none of this stuff has been authorized. It's all for emergency purposes. FDA approval is much different than emergency use, and people are purposely being misled and confused. And every website like this, which is kind of not really focused for medicine, they're more supposed to be talking about, so how did Aaron Lewis sound like? What did he sound like last night? Nobody knows. The article doesn't talk about the concert, doesn't talk about if the 1,200 people enjoyed the performance, says nothing about, was Aaron Lewis in great form last night? Was he singing on key? How was his band? What songs did he perform? Nothing. This is what we're doing now, folks. We're doing this bait and switch, and you can accuse me of this too, because here's the thing. I want to talk about flat out music, but when I upload all of these articles and I look at them and I say, why are they talking about this? Why is it their goal to pick out a statement like Aaron Lewis just misspoke? So rather than talk about his music tonight, we're going to spend the entire article, which they did, correcting him and throwing him under the bus, even though he had a positive result. It's almost as if, well, how do we spin the fact that he beat this on his own? How do we spin that? What do we do with that? Well, we're still going to impugn him. We're still going to make fun of the things he did. Guarantee you, Aaron Lewis is going to make way more fans and way more converts to his way of doing it than this particular site is in trying to stop people from hearing what he's got to say. And this in America and around the world has to stop. You know, if you put out a fire using dirt and someone else uses water, but yet the fire goes out, the fire's out. Really? You're going to criticize someone? Well, you shouldn't have used all that dirt. Water is easier. Well, dirt worked great. So the fire's out. So what's your point? And this is what they're doing. Again, the dirt probably doesn't cost as much money as the water, to use Aaron Lewis and his smart analogy about this, because it's true. Again, go watch Dope Sick. Go watch it. It's the perfect metaphor, the perfect sort of side-by-side A-B comparison. There are so many similarities. When you watch the documentary series, your head is going to explode watching it. So grab some duct tape. All right, so that's my super long video. I will, again, post the link to this particular chart, which, again, is on a government website. That particular agency was headed by the little emperor, and he's the one, by the way, that said use remdesivir. What's at number two? The horse paste is at number two. What's safe and effective in human beings and won the Nobel Prize? 2005. So we've had about 16 years of continuous use. And some people say it's safer than, experts say it's safer than Tylenol. Experts say, you know, I can play this game too. All right. Stop lying to people. Stop, you know, talk about music, for crying out loud. How was the concert? Was Aaron Lewis any good last night? Talk about the show. This is just pathetic. And again, I'll keep going. I'm not going to stop. See ya.